Hold on, Ed. I was waiting. I've been waiting 20 minutes to smoke this fucking joint. A cup of tea and a cold drink. Ooh, ooh. Spot at the baby, bro. But if we start before it, that's absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. I've been purposely waiting until 9 o'clock to smoke this. I gave the little one a bath. Only come down the stairs 5 minutes ago. No hurry. There's no hurry, there's no rush. You know, I just got the kid down a little bit early. Excuse me. Oh, fucking hell. Me fucking stomach gone. Here we are. Look at him, Big Beard. Big Beard. Yeah.
What's happening?
Oh, brother, I'm here. We are here.
Did you miss me?
Oh, mate, you fucking better believe it.
I'm still trying to just set it up on the other phone here, just if anyone's in, just so I can see the chat, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? A lot of people said later on today they'll try tune in, but we'll take no pressure. That's what I was saying to Rab. That there's a couple of people now who are don't want to come onto the stream yard, and I was saying, you know, that's no problem, but you have to pick a time and a place, you know.
That's it. No, I have it up on the other phone here now. Richie's in. How are you, Richie?
Richie.
There's a bit of a spin on this one, Finn, yeah?
Right, what's that now? What's that? You don't have no boxers on, do you?
I never have any boxers on. Just brief ball strangle. I'll show you why there's a bit of a spin on this one, yeah? You're probably on here to ask me questions about me, but...
No. I'm trying to see if I can get the layout any better. Walk away, hold on. No, that's it. That's as best I can get you.
You see that?
Yeah.
There's a couple of questions we're going to go through, brother.
Right.
Just about you, just about yourself, like, you know what I mean? And I have questions put aside as well for you and your missus, like. Remember I was saying it to you?
Yes. Hold on. Just what's his name? Fucking Carlton wants to come in. I'm just popping Carlton in right now. 1 second, Eddie. And then he can throw his he can put his face on if he wants to or not.
Yeah, no.
Here we go. You got it? Are you in there? Yeah.
How you doing, Finn?
Now, who's this lad? I don't think I've met this lad.
How you doing, fella?
This is Carlton. Carlton has a story to tell. He's in recovery himself, but
Carl, nice to meet you, pal. Yeah, I'm Eddie.
What's
Eddie.
Your name? Eddie. God bless
Eddie,
you, Eddie.
yeah.
Nice to meet you, fella.
Same to you, brother.
God bless you. How's your night? How's your night, Finn? Everything good? How's family?
Yeah. Yeah, I just got the little one down about 10 minutes ago, bro, so I'm ready to rock here. You know, I wasn't missing it for nobody.
I thought you were going to let me down.
No.
Very quiet.
No, because usually I'm up, but you know what, lads? Sometimes it's easier to not go StreamYard because you have to give people the time. You have to shut your mouth. It's hard sometimes to shut up, you know, and let other people speak, you know what I mean? So, but Eddie, fucking, Carlton, you listen in there, and I just will give you a little, because you want to do your kind of fucking recovery talk as well. So Eddie's going to ask me a few questions got to do with recovery and shit.
Well, if I'm asking questions and it's on recovery, if I'm asking you, I could ask both of you the questions, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
if you're comfortable with that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, how many have we got in? We've only 3 in. Do you want to give it a few minutes?
Yeah.
We'll give it a few minutes, have a bleeding joint there. I'm going to have a cigarette and we'll see if we can get the rest of the gang in. Evie, Rab.
Yeah, so Carl, how are you feeling now with I know you've only done one live, but you know.
1 second, just need to grab some headphones.
Yeah.
Can you hear me already, Finn? Is my sound already?
No, I can hear you. I can hear you, yeah. Right. It's a little bit low, but it's not I can still hear you, like, you know.
Right. Let me see.
He's getting his headphones on, yeah. No, all's good. The usual, Eddie. I'm not doing anything different than I normally do, you know.
What are you smoking on, bro?
I mixed it. This is a mixture of the grape gelana and the Stardog.
That's better, out there, I'll show you. Remember I was telling you about that lemon cherry gelato?
Yes.
The lad's got a fresh bit of it in there. You want to check it out, Finn? I got it now and I'll show you. Give me 2 minutes. Have a chat with what's that chap's name again? I keep forgetting, sorry.
Carlton.
Yeah,
Carlton.
Yeah. Oh, Carlton, that's what he said.
Carlton.
What are you on? Yeah.
Legs.
What's that?
Lovely. He does the bong, so he does it right, Ed, at the minute.
He does it the right way, on the bowls, the bongs, the buckets.
Yeah.
No, I gave up smoking with the tobacco. I ran out of tobacco. Oh shit, that's twice I've done that. My squids keep knocking my weed off of my grinder.
Yeah, no, I've done that as well. Yeah, I've done that
lost
myself.
A couple of buds still. What it is I ran out of tobacco, bud and Rizla all at the same time. And I thought, you know what, for me to go out and reload now, it's going to cost me a good like 55, 60 odd quid. £25 for tobacco, 30 quid for a draw, a couple of quid on Rizla. And I was smoking it constant. Every time I wanted a fag, I didn't smoke a fag, I smoked a spliff. And I refused point blank. I thought, you know what, I'm not even getting stoned anymore. So I thought, you know what, let me just have myself a little tolerance break, give myself a month, and then I'll take it up from there. And then I just, instead of going to get tobacco, I thought, you know what, rather than going to spend 25 on tobacco, I'd rather spend 25 on a bag of weed. And I'd make pure joints every now and then, but more often than not, I put it in my bong. And that's it. I taste it better. It tastes a lot better. I feel more healthier in myself. I don't smoke half as much because obviously maybe a 3-5 might last me 48 hours if I'm lucky.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
48 hours if I'm lucky. And that's not because I'm smoking the weed. It's because I'm smoking it with tobacco. But now a 3-5 will last me like 4 days if I wanted to, because I just smoke it in a bong. Obviously, if I smoke a spliff, it's pure, so I use a lot more when I make a spliff rather than put it in a bong. But I just refuse to. It's so much cleaner. I feel a lot more healthier.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many people now trying to get me off the tobacco. It is hard. It's nearly as hard as fucking crack. So like, what you mean? You mean I can never have a cigarette ever again? You know what I mean? Like what?
See, that was me. I thought, what? I mean, the only time I'd ever given up before, I don't think I've ever given up before. I think that's one of the things that stopped me going from going back inside because they brought the ban in on smoking, and there's no way I can do a bird without having a cigarette. That's impossible for me. I wouldn't get on with the vapes. I don't like them. I think they're like exhaust pipes, big plumes of smoke, and it stinks. Nah, I don't like it. I'm not gonna front. Yeah. I ain't got another sentence in me. I've done so many times over the year.
Yeah, you did it. Oh, you did it. You know, it's acquiring the taste. You see, even if I had some really, let's say, average weed, right? So, like, and I rolled it up in the blunt, you know, I have to give yourself that time to get over. It's a completely different taste and high and everything, you know. Like, don't get me wrong, I know it's meant to be better, but like as I said, even when I go to my brother's, he'll roll a few battens, like no tobacco, glass, smoke it with him, and then I'll go, I'm just gonna skin up a little joint as well. Do you mind? And he's like, you don't need it, and I'm like, I fucking do. You know?
Yeah, bastard. Don't mind.
I mean, I've had cigarettes left. I've had cigarettes left in my ashtray, spliffs left in my ashtray for about 2 hours. You don't have to finish it.
Yeah.
There's no need to finish it right away. You know what I mean? I've just picked up these bloody Rizzlers just to try something different.
I disagree with that one. I think once you light a joint, you have to smoke it.
It's very hard to put it down. It's very hard to put it down.
I struggle with Haribo.
I'll tell you, I've changed, right? When I gave up the stuff the first 2 years ago, and I started smoking, I'd never had a can in my hand. I used to always have a can in my hand. So it was very hard to go from. I used to smoke about a third of a joint, like, and I'd be fucking mashed, and I'd put it down. But now I can smoke one or two, one after the other. You know, the tolerance does go up big time.
Right, we have double whammy in here as well.
Hammy, what's up, Hammy?
Good man, I jumped.
There's another medical patient. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And what do you think of Jude's smile, guys? What?
I didn't see it.
He kept making horse noises.
He didn't get his feet done, did he?
He finally got his dentures fitted.
Oh, did he?
Jude's smile looks amazing.
He got everything taken out. I was thought he was going to be giving the Mrs. Velvet rubs.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's my signal okay, yeah?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're alright.
You're right for now. You're good.
Lovely, yeah.
Yeah, Finn, his smile looks amazing. It really does. He looks really proud of him as well. You can see he's really like boosted by it. Bless him.
Are you talking about me?
No, Jude and his teeth.
Oh, yeah, I know. Do you know, he had me laughing, though. I couldn't take him serious because he was like... I was thinking, dude, we're meant to be making fun of you. You're not meant to be making fun of yourself, like, you know. But no, I'm so happy for him, you know. It'll take him a while to get... a few days to get adjusted to them, you know.
He's just on
you know, absolutely. He's a dad. What dad doesn't want to spoil him, folks? Sorry, hold on. I'll learn to shut up. What was that?
Me?
Yeah, no, I sometimes I talk too much, guys. I know. Don't worry.
I could have told you
that.
No, it's up there now. Jude must be on just a straight Caradway now, man. New dentures. Testing them.
Yeah.
I didn't see them. I'd say he's dying to do about 100 lives a day now because his teeth are done. Do you know what I mean? They give him that little boost.
I never thought about it this way until he mentioned it, right, Eddie? He said about a month ago. He said, I always tell you I'm cooking dinner and all that, but I can only cook 3 different dinners because I can't eat.
I remember him saying something.
So it was like, you know, and eventually, and he goes, I don't care, but he said, me missus would like to go out for dinner. Well, I never even put 2 and 2 together. You know, being afraid to go out and not being able to chew your food, like, you know.
Yeah, you can only eat so many mash before you get a pain in your bollocks with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. How are you, Pablo?
Pablo Solway.
Yeah.
Fair play for jumping in, lads. Pablo Solway. Here's our chicas in there as well.
Lovely. We've missed you, Eddie, and welcome fucking Carlton. Carlton's been I didn't realise Carlton changed. Remember, I was calling you the wrong person, Carlton. I was calling you, and because I was waiting for someone to come up with a live and say, I want to do the NA literature, I want to do the AA literature. It's something I've thought of, but I never bought the books. You know, it was only a thought. At least you're doing it. You're doing it, mate. You know what I mean? That's great. You know.
We have the questions. You have the answers.
Right, come on then. Give me a question. Come on.
Are we going for it?
Go for it.
Another one in the chat there. We have John O'Crypto in the chat. Well done for jumping in, buddy.
Yeah. Don't try to turn this volume up. You continue.
Aaron Angler. It's all the way. Everyone's jumping in.
Yeah.
Right. Finn, you ready for your first question?
I am.
This is for both of you, so if you just want to answer separately, we just go through it, yeah?
Yeah.
Any questions that are too hard to say, I don't skip, I don't want to answer it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you're at the throwing half your life out there on the internet, so I don't think you can skip that.
No, you're right.
You ready for the first one?
Well, Hermie. Go on, Eddie. Go on.
So the first question. Well, Finn, what was the lowest point you hit during your recovery, or during your addiction, sorry, and how did it make you feel about yourself?
The lowest point I was at was not knowing whether to ring my mother or not to ring her and tell her goodbye. I didn't know what was the right thing, what would hurt more, ringing and saying goodbye or not ringing and saying goodbye. So that was very low, you know. And what was the last part?
How did you feel about yourself at the time with this, like at the height you're at? Did you really care, like?
I did. I mean, I used to cry for myself and say I don't want to die, but it's the only way. Like, I'll never be normal. Well, that's what I used to say. I'll never be normal. I'll be able to be able to hold down a normal job, be in a normal relationship. Like, I'm a junkie, you know. And I wanted to end my own pain, but then it would also really kill you because I would imagine or asking the question why. That's all I kept thinking was why, you know.
Yeah.
Leaving that burden with them would, you know. So, because you would like to think when you kill yourself, you're dead, you die, and then your pain is over. But we don't actually know that. But what we do know is pain we leave behind is definitely going to be real, you know. So,
yeah,
that's my answer.
That's a good answer, Finn. I like that answer. And the same. Do you want to read the question out to you again?
Go for it. You hear that, Carlton?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, Aaron. I think Carlton's mic is muted, is he? Amy, I'm not forgetting about you there. How are you? Good evening.
Okay, so he's doing.
See you there. I don't know if Carlton can hear us there now. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. I'm not sure.
Oh, they're bringing out the buds.
Oh, we've got the GZZ. Love it. Here, I have mine here. Look, where is it? Hold on. I fucking just had it a minute ago.
Stop. You're gonna now we have to go and get mine, do we?
You are my son. I thought you would be smoking by now, Eddie.
BMW.
Yeah.
We've had a few laughs at that.
Stop. And here, I have to be wrecked because I'm thinking someone might try that and go, that tastes amazing. What are you talking about? Like, you know, I don't know.
I don't know, mate. I think you'd be sticking it into the exhaust of that yoke. You don't even be smoking that thing properly.
Yeah.
Smoking, smoking.
Amy, how are you, Carlton? If you can hear us and but you can't answer, but I can't hear you, Carlton, but maybe we'll skip to Hammy and see if Hammy wants to answer that question, maybe. Maybe you don't, I'm just asking him. It's interesting.
I don't really know this other lad up on here either. What's his name?
Oh, sorry, this is Hammy. He's up in Scotland and he's a medical cannabis patient. That's all I know. Sorry, Hammy.
Hammy, I'm Eddie. Nice to meet you, yeah?
That's Eddie from Dublin.
Nice to meet you, Eddie. How you doing?
Good, brother. Good. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Keep marching.
Yeah.
You're doing well. You're doing well. I don't know, Finn. I don't know if these lads want to answer these questions. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure. See, this is a bit of an impromptu. I've never
Yeah.
had 4 on my live, but the thing is, Eddie's in college studying psychiatry, so it's an interesting topic, you know. He's lashing out the Valium to all the lads.
He's scumbag.
Well, no,
Can you hear me,
know
lads?
Grab some bag grass and just show them I'm smoking.
I just
Guys.
Oh.
Hello.
There you go. You're back.
I'm back.
I hear you.
You hear me now, Finn?
I do.
Oh, hooray. Oh, my God, this microphone. Sorry to just jump in like that. I really am. I heard what the question was. If you want me to explain it, I can take it away by all means.
No.
Yeah. No, this is just lads having banter that doesn't involve drinking drugs. That's all this is. You know?
And then when we go offline, you get a phone call off Finn, and Finn sells all the drugs.
Yeah, so you guys can all hear me perfectly, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, the question regarding that, unfortunately, I've had quite a few low points in my life. I see every sentence as a low point because when I'm speaking to my son, when I first started doing crime and I had my first son, one of the low points for me was I'd ring him and he goes, "Dad, can I tell you something?" And I goes, "Yeah, of course you can, son. You can tell me whatever you want." And he goes, "You know what? You're a proper waste man. You just sat there doing nothing." And that was like a kick in the bollocks. And
Yeah.
although that never changed me, I still went back many a times after that. And I think the lowest of the low was when I went to HMP Bullingdon, I was a regular there. They knew me by first name. It was really bad. And I refused to go over onto the drug-free wing because they go over there and they want you to talk about your problems. And I always used to see as my problems, and I deal with my problems myself. I don't need your help to deal with my problems.
Yep.
And what it was is I was sat in NA. It was a group theory, and we had these questionnaires sent out to our family members, and I got mine sent out to my partner, and it was asked how my crimes has had an impact on her and how it's affected the kids and stuff like that. And when I got that questionnaire back, the facilitators within the prison read out what was said upon the questionnaire, and it felt like a kick in the bollocks again, a stab in the heart, and it made me cry. You know what I mean? I was upset because I didn't know the sort of pain that I was causing to others because of my selfishness, because I was in addiction. And it broke me. And they say before you can build yourself back up, you got to hit yourself a rock bottom. Now, when I went through that NA, the first thing they get you to do is they get you to write a little life story, a little thing about yourself and what you've been through and how you got to where you are today. Like maybe 3 A4 pages. You know what I mean? 3 A4 pages back and front, just a little summary of who you are, what you've done, and how you come about the drug scene. And I could just remember being in real shit and embarrassed of my actions had caused so much pain and suffering, and I had no idea about it because not once during it did I say, "Babe, listen, what's going on with you? How are you? What's going on for you?" It was all about me. Where am I going to get my next bit of money from so I can go and get things rather than going and kick off somebody's door and commit a burglary and end up in Bullingdon. So it was kind of, you know what I mean? She kind of gave me the ultimatum. You either choose me and the kids, you're going to have to get out because I can't have it around the kids. And thankfully, I've been clean for a number of years now. Like, obviously, smoke weed. I might have a drink every now and then. I like Irish coffee. Might have a beer watching football. But yeah, that was it for me. And it was a really low point. And it was the real kick in the bollocks that I needed to finally sort my life out.
Well, congratulations on being clean. And the bit I picked up on there, I think you said your young fella said something to you that you were a waste.
Yeah, I was a waste man.
I think something like that would stick to you. Like, even though you're clean now, something like that will always stick with you for the rest of your life.
100%
more than anything else.
Yeah, that's it. Because the problem with that is the kids have had to grow up a lot quicker nowadays. I mean, when I was younger, we didn't have internet and shit like that. The kids they understand a lot more. They see a lot. They're exposed to a lot more than what we was as youngsters.
Yeah.
Our time to go home is when the lights on the street come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Make sure you hear dinner time and you need to head back. In my case, I didn't even have that. I'd roam the streets whenever I want because I was in children's homes and nobody could tell me nothing. You ain't my mum, you ain't my dad. Who are you? You ain't nothing. You're going to stop me from getting out? No bother. I'll jump out my window. I'll see you in a couple of days. Laters.
Yeah. And what was your drug of choice?
Heroin.
Heroin?
Yeah. Chucking a bit of crack, but yeah, brown dirt.
Yes.
And that's the problem. I enjoyed it. About 6-7 years. I've been out of jail for 9-10 years.
Pretty good.
Fair play.
I'm just trying to get all of my information because I'm thinking of writing a story, my book.
They're not still looking for you. That's not why you're wearing the mask. They're not still looking for you.
Definitely not that. Definitely not that. Definitely not.
Oh, I want one of them masks off. You're deadly.
Yeah, but you know what?
Selling merchandise, won't I?
Yeah, we all can. You know, that's the thing. The word, like, you know what I mean. We can. You know.
I mean, that's the only reason. It's something different. If somebody scrolls on my thing and they see this, they'll remember it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. If somebody come in and said, "Yeah, I'll give you a £500 donation to do a face reveal," yeah, no bother.
Yeah.
Delete the video and it goes back on.
That stands out. When something stands out like that, they will remember it because I remember Finn doing a live, and he had his top off, and I'll never forget it.
I should have went FHM. Oh yeah.
Born into me.
It's a lovely set.
Yeah. Damn you. Yes, you're right.
How are you doing, Hammy?
Yeah, Hammy, how are you? So I need to learn to shut up because this is part of my growth though, is learning. I have to learn to shut up sometimes. I really do. So.
See, that's me. I can gas and feel no way about it.
We can do a little time limit. It has a time limit up on the side. We can do 3 minutes or something each, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Hammy,
it's working.
If you're comfortable, Hammy, we can ask you the same question.
We're gonna have to put translator on the Scottish subtitles on the Scottish fella, yeah?
Yeah. Tell us a bit about yourself, Hammy. Go on, please.
I don't know where to begin. What do you want to know?
Well, Eddie has a question for you, right? Just if you can answer, you can. If not, we'll move on to the next one. It's just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
So,
right, man.
You ready?
Hit me.
Right. So it's about addiction. We've all gone through addiction. So if you want to answer it. If you don't, just give me a shake of the head and I'll move on. Right. So what was the lowest point you hit during your addiction, and how did it make you feel about yourself?
I don't know. I always felt the lowest when I was buying something and I didn't have the money for it. I was getting on tick, you know what I mean? And then finished it and you owe money for it. But, you know, that for me was pretty low.
What was your drug of choice? Sorry.
Like, I don't know, I've took cocaine before, but I wouldn't say, I only took it for about 6 months or something. Like, I had a wee problem with it. I gave up. But I've not had a major addiction problem like you boys have. But I like listening to your stories. But I was addicted to weed probably for about 20 years.
Yeah.
Who hasn't been? That's not an addiction. That's a medicine.
Yes.
And I gave it up for about 6 or 7 years. And seeing those 6 and 7 years, I was just dead depressed and dead unhappy with my life.
Back on.
Cheers.
I think
bingo bongo.
Big up to you. I'm having a little token still.
But now I've got medical, and everything's better again. So
I'm going back on it.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
have more questions, lads. If you still want to answer them, answer them. If you don't want to answer them, just say fuck off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I'm gonna hit you with a second question, Finn. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you to shut the fuck up when you keep rambling. Right. What was the moment you realised? What was the moment you realised you needed to make a change in your own life?
Well, the truth is, there was loads of them times. But I think.
What's the one that sticks out?
Just ask it again. I forgot it.
What was the moment you realised you needed to make change in your life?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. And this is hitting off Carlton. This is why we can relate. Is because after 20 years of drug addiction, and then the final 3 years, so 23 years in total, were crack, right? So the worst of the worst kind, or whatever. And I have a brother that I'm close to. We've went through a whole lot together, and I rang me ma for money, like I was desperate, had no money, you know yourself, and so she sent. She wouldn't even give me money. She sent him to my house with shopping, and he wouldn't even come up the stairs. And he sent me a message. He sent me about 20 voice notes, and I tell you one thing, I wouldn't listen to them, right? I wouldn't listen to them because he was crying in them. Now my brother's not meant to cry, you know, he's tough, but my missus made me. She forced me to listen to them, which I normally would not have been able to do. I wouldn't have done it. So she forced me to listen to it, but he basically said, I have to cut you out of my life. After all the things we've been through, all the stuff, he says, at this point, I have to cut you out of my life. And that I remember when he said it, when I heard it, like I just got sick and just cried and cried and cried. Because he said to me, I didn't see him for a year. But he did say to me, he said, it was 2 weeks before Christmas. He says, I won't see you at Christmas. I won't see you at New Year. I won't see you for your birthday in January. I won't see you for 6 months minimum. But he was like, I need to look after me now. And that hurt. But he says, I won't let you hurt me like this anymore. And I was like, what? I'm the one who's hurting. I never knew you were hurting. And like, until he said, the pain you feel about being suicidal, like us all, he says, that's the pain you pass on to people who just don't know.
Yeah.
And
was that just him showing you tough love, Finn?
No, that's exactly what it was. But that was the first time, and that was because of the crack. Now, all the other thing, but it was because I was just so far gone. I was pawning everything. I lost my job, you know, blah blah blah. And so basically, yeah. But that was low. I remember, like that's when I knew I had to make change because I lost my brother, and he's the only one I have, really. So,
yeah.
So, and I have him back now. But like to hear him say, "No, like I'm hurting," he was bawling his eyes out, just saying, like, you know, I can't believe I have to cut you out of my life, but I do, you know, blah, blah, blah. And
look at you now, Finn, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
He lost his brother, but he has his brother back now, you know what I mean?
Exactly. We speak a lot of things, but, you know, you're right.
Mm-hmm. That's all he wanted. Right, Finn, I'm going to cut you off because you won't shut up.
Love it.
Same question, on to the next one, yeah? Number 2 for Carlton, yeah?
Yeah, no problem. The thing that there's a few things that made me want to change this time. I think it was the last prison sentence that I was on. That was the big change for me. I've never finished a prison license in 16 years, 17 years, in and out with burglaries. 3 years, first strike burglary, minimum 3 years, 4 years, you know what I mean? Get out after 18 months, don't complete their license, be recalled after 3 months, flat out again, still in addiction. But the last sentence, I walked through the reception and they said, "Oh, we knew you'd be back. We've kept your cell for you." And I felt embarrassed. And I got up to the wing and I was in this cell with somebody that I'd known for a number of years, and I'd done previous sentence with him. And he was like 10, 12, 15 years older than me. Mm-hmm. And I said to myself, I don't want to be coming into prison when I'm that age. And I was maybe about 30, 32 at the time, and he was about 50. And he ended up being my pad mate. And he was a nice guy, spoke a lot of sense, but he just was in and out, in and out. And I'd seen him in and out on numerous sentences. And I said to him, how old are you? And how long have you been doing this for? And he told me, and I said, you know what? I've got to promise myself I can't be here when I am 40 or 50 years old, because I'm not living, I'm just existing. All I was a prison number, and I was sick and tired of starting over again. So many hostels and flats that I've lost, money that I've lost, relationships, friends, family, and it's all because of my selfishness and addiction. I'd always been the person who hid away when I got my drugs. I'd wake up, go out, get a bit of money, get my drugs, back straight home behind the door. Didn't like to use in front of anybody, don't need to trouble nobody. My addiction is my addiction, as along with my problems. Yeah, and I just grew out of it. I really did. I think I just grew out of it. I really did. I thought, you know what, I'm worth more than this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And here, can I just add, you don't come across as someone who spent so long in prison, so you picked up some nice mannerisms along the way, and that's a good thing to be around your children and your, you know what I mean. So fair play to you, mate. You know,
I mean, honestly, I could sit here now. My wallet's right underneath my phone. It's propping up my phone. Hang on, look. I'll show you prison cards. No, because it's got all of my name and my pictures. Hang on. Another time. Let me get my editing up to scratch, and I'll show you that on another occasion. But yeah, the amount of prison ID cards, and I'll keep them in my wallet just to remind me of where I've been and where I don't want to go to.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's very good.
Another thing that I do is I jingle my bell, jingle my keys, my flat keys or the house keys.
Yeah.
Because the only thing you in jail, when that's the only thing you hear, screws up and down the landing with keys, and it takes me back to that, and that's what keeps me in check sometimes. You know what I mean? And even to the day, you know what I mean. I've been out for quite a few years now, but you know, God, when I was there, people were getting spooned out. You know what I mean? Have you got what you got inside you? If I went in there now, and I mean, I'm an old man compared to these lot now. Yeah, I'm going to stand and I'm going to swing it out. But if they're coming in 5-6 man deep and they've got all the spoon each, I can't really defend myself if I'm on my own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, mate, I don't think you can defend yourself against this bleeding the youth coming up nowadays. You know what I mean?
They're ferocious. They are vicious. Like I said, they're going in people's cells with spoons, and they're scooping people's batties out to see if they've got drugs and phones.
Yeah.
Listen, I will die before I will let any little motherfucker do that to me. I will stick a hot pepper sauce thing in your throat. And I'll end up on a murder charge, and I don't need that. I've got kids.
But these kids nowadays don't realise that we were them kids them days also.
Exactly.
You know
That's my
we just have a bit more experience now. That's all it is.
I just want a quieter life.
Yeah. It's just I think it's brilliant how a lot of people, when they go into prison, it makes them hard, it makes them violent, it makes them they hate the world, and like you seem like you've well and truly grown out of that, if I may say so. You know what I mean?
And that's probably the best way to get them out of prison.
To be fair, it was the case of having to. I mean, I grew up through the whole system. I've said it a few times. I grew up in like children's homes, foster care, secure units, HMYOYs, HMPs. So I've done the whole 9 yards, unfortunately. So if I weren't going to change, then I'd have been stuck in that system forever. I really could have been, and I didn't want that. I was sick of existing. I wanted to live a bit. There's a whole world out there. I've never been on an aeroplane. I've never been abroad.
Really?
The only other country I've been to is Wales.
No way.
Come on. So there's a whole world out there for me to see. So yeah, it's just getting around to seeing it, unfortunately.
Well, you've plenty of time to do that. You're not inside the clink. You've plenty of time to do that, buddy. You know
No,
what I mean? That's
well, there you go. You know what I mean? That's it, and that's all. That's what me and the wife are just waiting for at the moment. Let the kids get a bit older. Once they're old enough to fend for themselves, we'll fuck off and go and get our canal boat and go and travel England and Europe and go over to Dam and you know what I mean. Flights are cheap enough.
Set a goal. Once you have a goal, walk towards it.
Exactly that. Exactly that. A 5-year plan. You know what I mean? Renew it every 5 years. In the next 5 years, I want to achieve A, B, C, and D. One for each year.
Talking to you 5 minutes, it sounds like you have your head on your shoulders. So, well, you obviously learned your lesson from being inside, and you haven't gone back there. So, you took it and ran with it.
I mean, well, in there, I had to teach myself. You know what I mean? I didn't go to school. I had to teach myself how to read and write. I was always useless at school. I was always told that I was useless. You know what I mean? I'd rather be an arsehole because I believe I had dyslexia, ADHD, and obviously those things weren't diagnosed back then, unfortunately. So kids like us were kind of shunned as and labelled as, oh, they're the naughty kids.
Yeah.
And because obviously I was in children's homes and stuff like that, they see me as the naughty kid. They didn't know my story. Nobody knows my story. You know what I mean? Only a handful of people, and that's why I'm looking to write my book. That's why I'm coming into here. It's therapy for me. The more you talk about it, the more you get off your chest.
Interested now. I know you have questions, Eddie, but I just wanted, because Hammy said he didn't really have much addiction issues. I was just wondering if he wanted to say what medical condition or what brought him back just to medical cannabis. Maybe is a different question for him.
Yeah, Finn, well, you can throw that question in, Finn. I'm just going to run through my questions in here and see what questions will kind of suit that. You know what I mean? Because I didn't think I was going to be kind of. I'm not saying that your addiction is any less than anyone else or any more than anyone else's. It's just when I come in here, I tend to go for the addictions that I know, and I didn't really know this lad. You know what I mean? If I did, I would have got a few questions prepared for you as well. Finn, you throw that question out you just asked there to him, and I'm just going to have a read through this, pal, yeah?
Yeah. No, just because I didn't want to sit in there and then you at the end of it, then you go, well, I didn't smoke crack or smack or go to prison, you know, so I wanted to give you an opportunity, you know.
Fine, it's fine.
Yeah.
But so I get diagnosed with Crohn's disease a few years ago. Which is inflammatory bowel disease. So I was in the house for about 2.5 years in pain, and the doctors didn't have a clue what was wrong with me, and I ended up getting rushed into hospital one night. I got an operation, and that's how I get the medical cannabis now, basically. So that's it.
And what's it like living with Crohn's? What's it like living with Crohn's? Is it?
Really shit, mate. So my body struggles to absorb nutrients and stuff properly at certain times. So I get vitamin deficiencies, which I can get tingling in the fingers. Sometimes you can struggle to breathe and stuff like that. But I'm still quite fit and healthy. Although that, I mean, I play ice hockey. You know what I mean? So I'm still strong and fit and able, but just from time to time I get weak. I feel weak and stuff like that. But still manage to get along in life, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was the reason it's actually interesting you say that, I mean, because my partner was hospitalized on all over Christmas and New Year's, to be honest. It was very sad, but she was diagnosed with colitis, ulcer colitis, right, which is similar and in the same region as Crohn's, right? Obviously different. And it was hell. It was absolute fucking hell, you know.
Well, I'm gonna bring it. Sorry, I'm gonna bring it for the smoke.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
See, Crohn's is like a lot of conditions. It's what's called autoimmune. So what that means is your immune system's attacking your own body. So that's basically all it is. My immune system's attacking parts of my bowel for some reason, and it creates havoc. Things like arthritis as well.
Yeah. No, well, I think you're on the best medicine. I think you're on the best medicine for that, because all these tablets that someone might take it damages the lining of your gut and your stomach and all that. Like, cannabis is known to be a great treatment. I wouldn't say it's a cure, but
it's meant to be anti-inflammatory.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting. See, mine is mental, you see. So am I lucky or am I unlucky? You know, because sometimes people say, you know, not all disabilities are visible. You know
Do
what
you
I
know
mean?
what? You know what, guys? I like listening to Finn's chat and stuff, because Finn talks a lot about how he copes in life and stuff. And although I've not had addiction problems, I still have coping in life. You know what I mean? Like everyone else. Like,
Yeah.
You know, life's a struggle. Life's a struggle for everyone out there. You know what I mean? Pocket challenges. And it's good to listen how other people overcome theirs and coping mechanisms and stuff like
that. It is. I'm learning from you. Now I know you suffer with something that positive issues every day, let's say. I know Carlton has gone through all that. Even he has longer in recovery than I do. And I know that Eddie can grow a beard and I can. You know, so so but you know, honestly, guys, you know, this is learning from me. I was just like Carlton, I hid away. I wasn't even the junkie out on the street. Tommy Junkie. Salute to you. I was like, I always got people used to say to me, "Where are you going? Where are you going? Like, why aren't you staying here with us to do your drugs?" And I was like, "No, I have to get back to my gaff and all." I was a weirdo. I was walking around the gaff just wanking naked, you know, sweating. just afraid.
He was doing that. He was doing that in my house as well, and that's why I had to get rid of him.
Yeah, you know, I was a weirdo, bro. I turned into a weirdo. It got to the stage, right? I remember when I moved into my flat, I used to listen to TV. I think it was 46. It was a good volume, good average volume. When I was on the pipe, you know, at about 11 o'clock at night, you know, I'd have it on one, the TV on one, and it would still too loud. You know, hopefully back in those. They can hear that now. But I'm like, I need to hear it as well, so I can't turn it off all the way, you know. I swear to God, I was like a little rat in an attic just running around crazy, I swear. Fucking weird shit. Just in the shower and all, you know. Cracked out and all. I'm gonna die and all. And then when you get out of the bath and get dry, you run straight into the kitchen and smoke the last of it. You're like, fuck it. You know what I mean? This is a fucking game. Honestly.
Finn, I have another one for you.
Yeah.
I did write all these down for Finn, but if they do coincide with you and you can't do them, and they try them. Do you know what I mean? You try them. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Right, Finn, you ready?
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to go. My phone's going to run out of power. Right?
Rock on, Hammy. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Guys,
God bless you, fella.
Nice
Have a lovely evening.
buddy.
Cheers for all your support as well.
Good to talk. See you later.
See you later, buddy. Hit me, Ed. Hit me.
Right, so
I ain't gonna lie, my phone feels like it's gonna blow up.
I know. It's my bad signal. Sorry about this.
No, it's through the heat and everything. I've got an old beat up thing anyway, so don't watch out.
Someone's mic is crackling. I don't know if it's yours, Finn, or Cotton's.
Recheck.
I think it might have been my lead.
I don't know if I have my data on or not. Oh, hold on a second. I haven't been airplane mode on. Fucking dumbass.
Right. Finn, you ready? Number 4.
I am.
Can you describe what you were like going through withdrawals and what kept you going? What kept you going?
I'll move out here in case it's crackling. Okay. Could you repeat the question one more time, please?
Repeat it.
Need you to repeat it. I forgot it.
Can you describe what you were like going through withdrawals and what made you keep going?
Can I describe what I was going through when I grew up? Night terrors is a big one. Night sweats is a big one. Like, I mean puddles. So I'm not talking about a little sweaty forehead. I'm talking you need to get into the shower and wash yourself. I've said. And I get night terrors, and the night terrors are like as we say, it's like they're still the same. They're just less now, so it still qualifies as withdrawal, you know. But like,
Yeah.
you go through it. Honestly, it's like a fucking movie. You know what I mean? It's like an eternity. You're in your dream, and the most fucking crazy shit happened, and for you to get your drugs. And every time I put the fucking crack on the pipe, I wake up in a puddle of sweat. That's one of my withdrawals. Like, it will never go away. It's just fucking crazy. But uh, what kept me going, I think, was at a safe place to endure them episodes. At a safe place. I was with a family that took me in. I wasn't on my own in the same crack flat. I was away from people. I was away from places. I was away from things. So I think I got a good fucking. I landed on me front foot. That should you say, you know.
So you had help around.
I had help around me. I did. So,
yeah. A lot of people don't have that. You know what I mean? So you are very lucky to have that.
Exactly. Absolutely. You know,
Well,
and a partner. You know, and a partner there also. You know.
Yeah. Well, I did have 15 questions written down for you, and I had separate ones for Jade also. But I know Jade doesn't like jumping in. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we can do that another time.
Of course, yeah.
But I do have more questions. Colton, do you want to answer that one, buddy?
Sorry, say that again.
Do you want to answer that one if I read it out?
Yeah, go for it.
Can you describe what you were like going through your withdrawals and what kept you going? What kept you going through it? Like, what kept you going?
Well, yeah, when I was inside, one of the requirements before I went over to start the wrapped course, I mean, yeah, they only done the first like 4 steps or so, but one of the requirements was you had to be clean. So I'd come in and I was obviously on a script, and I gave up the script and went over there. So they give me some stupid naproxolone, some zopiclone for a couple of days, and that was it. So that helped for the first couple of days. But after that, listen, I think it was the breakdancing in the bed, my legs, the lack of sleep, and that continued for a good 2 months, I'd say.
Was that restless legs?
Restless legs, lack of sleep. I'd fall asleep and then you'd hear a key. Someone would slam a door. So I'm obviously in custody whilst I'm doing this detox. It's a noisy place in prison. You know what I mean?
It's like PTSD. It's like PTSD, isn't it? Really?
It is. It really is. It really is, definitely. And the beds ain't comfortable. You ain't got nothing much. You know what I mean? You got your bit of canteen and whatever. Not. It's not like doing a detox out in custody, like out in the community, because you can go and get yourself a beer, a bag of weed, a bit of brandy. You got your missus to give you some shines if need be. You know what I mean? Everything's sweet. But yeah, when it was in custody, like breakdancing and everything, yeah, that was a nightmare. And the only thing that kept me going was knowing I had to do something different. If nothing changes, nothing changes. I'm still in and out of there now. So yeah, so I just had to knock it out and do it for the sake of myself, having the self-will and respect for myself, and know that I can do it. Because once I put my mind to something, I'm adamant I want to achieve it and do it to the best of my ability. So yeah.
And then you went and done all that and proved yourself right.
Yeah. There you go.
Do you know what I mean? So, big respect to you for that.
God bless you.
Finn, another one for you, yeah?
Yeah, I'm here.
Was there a specific event or person that helped you break free from your addiction? Or was it yourself?
No, Jade, who is in here. Jade was there. Jade was that person. Jade was the person like who was willing to love me. Because she's in here now, but she basically came to my flat. She came to my flat and walked in with the set of keys I gave her, and said, even though she knew I was on drugs, I told her not to come. She came and she said, like, I love you. Like, you are going to throw this away. I'm leaving now and I'm never coming back. Like, and I was angry. I was like, what I was on crack at the time, on a crack bin, and I told her not to come to the house, and she did. And so I fucking forgot the question, but it doesn't matter. It was something about Jade. I had a person. Jade was the person. Jade was the one, because I had no one else around me. It was 20 years of addiction. Like, I'd burned through every bridge, but Jade was the one who kind of, even though I looked so bad, and obviously, like, looking around my flat and what I had to offer for her and the kids, she said, "Come and stay with me and be with my family, like our family." And it worked. Like, I've never went back. I've never stayed one night back in that flat, not once.
So would you say like, you know a lot of that to her, like, you're here today because of her?
I would say so, yes. I would say yes. I would say yes, because no one else. My mum couldn't make me stop, and my brother didn't make me stop. You know what I mean? It was Jade who made me stop. The love that she was giving me was enough to say, I'm going to lose that love if I keep losing. And do I want to? And at that time, I didn't. I don't want to.
Yeah. No, I love that. Love the honesty. I love the honesty, lads.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to be fair, exactly the same as Finn.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the wife that I've had now, you know what I mean, with like 11 years strong. You know what I mean? 12 years strong. So if it wasn't for her who believed in me and stuck by me and, yeah, gave me the belief that I could be a better person and then there's a better life, and she kind of showed me and gave me the rollickings when I needed to, and kept me in check. And yeah, if it wasn't for her, then Anna Litlands, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's the whole routine of getting up, going out, going to do the school runs, coming back, doing what needs to be done, go out, do the school runs, come back, feed them, wife's at work, let her come up, you know what I mean? So it's about routine. It's having a routine.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in the same boat. I'm not the only one. I'm not sitting up here asking questions because I'm clean and I'm the Lamb of God walking around. I was just as bad, lads, you know what I mean? So don't feel bad answering these questions, because
no, I've got no shame.
I would have got the exact same answer there. Like, my partner, I'm with 15 years of 2 kids, 2 beautiful kids. I could have lost all of that also. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so 15 years is a long time. Fair play. 15 years is a long time.
So she would have been the one that saved me, you know what I mean? So we 3 of us have the exact same answer there, that love and our kids and kids around us and our family, they're the ones who are saving us.
It proves that behind every good bloke is a good woman, then, isn't it?
Yeah, now you have her. My best friend is my partner, my fiance, 15 years.
Exactly that. The wife knows everything about me, knows all about my upbringing and everything I've been through. And I mean, when I was at home, I was abused, but you know what I mean, physically abused and whatever, not sexually or anything like that. But mentally and physically, I was abused. There weren't much food up in the house and whatever not. Used to get sent out and go and rob milk off people's doorsteps and bread, whatever, you know what I mean? Just so we had some breakfast before we went to school. So we know like hard times, unfortunately. Well, I know hard times. There was never much money in the house. That's hence why I was brought up in the care system and stuff like that, in and out of care and children's homes and foster cares. And anytime I was at home, it was appalling. So we always end up going back to children's homes and stuff. But yeah.
Now this question is similar, but it kind of ties into the whole family thing as well. So, Finn, I'll go with you first, mate. Yeah.
Yes.
How did your addiction affect your relationship with your family, your girlfriend, your friends, everybody? Like, when you first met Jade, start from the start if you can, like, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting one, because I actually met her through a friend of hers, who I was messaging at the time, but we had never met her friend. It was on, so I didn't know her like that. I moved to the UK in 2019. So, but anyway, cut a long story short, right? I forgot the question again. What was it again? Sorry, Eddie.
Too much mood, boy.
How did your addiction affect your relationship with family, friends, girlfriend, partners, kids, everything?
I couldn't hear a word you said.
No way.
I didn't catch a single word of that.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Right. How did your addiction affect your relationship with family, friends, partners, all of that? How did it affect?
Okay. It affected them. I was never present. That's the big one. I was never present. You know, I in that world you kind of think you are.
Yeah, there,
You know,
but you're not there. Yeah.
but you're not there. You know, and the thing was, I lied to her a lot. You see, so I'll get back to that's where I lost my train of thought. I met Jade and I was with her for a full year before I admitted to her I was a full blown crack addict. I hid it from her. She knew something was up. She knew I might have told her lie here and there, but she found a couple of crack points on me and I could kind of convince her that it was her weed. And but she was only coming to visit me on a Tuesday and a Wednesday for the first 8 months of the relationship, or whatever, you know. And so I was getting away with it. I was staying off that one night, you know. And fucking, I was making up for it the next day. But it got so bad, guys, that I wasn't actually sleeping. I was never sleeping. I was going to work doing fucking 10, 12 hours. I was a bin man. So you start at 6:30. I used to get up at 5:30 and I get back at 5:30. And then I do fucking 100 quid worth of crack, you know, and try to go to work the next day. So, but got to the stage where I physically, mentally, just like I wasn't there at all. I was a walking zombie, like, you know what I mean? And I exhausted every money avenue there was. Every trick you could have pulled, every lie you could have told, every loan you could have got. I stacked up $5,000 on online loans. I'm still paying them back now.
Mm-hmm.
But I was earning nearly $2,000 a month as well. Do you know what I mean? So it affected them all because I kept telling them they knew I was suicidal. They always do. Anytime there's drugs involved, it's suicidal, you know. So so basically, through all that whole period, they knew that I was suicidal, and I was telling them things are not going great, and you know what I mean, blah blah blah. So, but it affected them so much. But it only came to head when my brother, who fucking death threats, murder, fucking 140 grand bills, all these shit. Moving, he had to go to the United States first, and then he went to Iceland, and then he came to the UK. So, fucking, I have to be careful all the time what I say, blah, blah, blah. But it was him, who we both told each other that if we ever even murdered people, mass murdered someone, whatever it was, got locked up for years, whatever it was, we said to each other as brothers, I would still visit you. I would still visit you. You know what I mean? I'd never turn me back on you. So when he turned his back on me that time, it fucking hurt. It hurt.
Yeah.
I was
you felt like he was the only one there for you, and then you had
no, like, and he done all the best things he could have. Like, you know what I mean? He bailed me out. You know, he was the good one. But he basically said, I have to look after myself now. You're hurting me too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to hear someone who, I never thought he hurt. You know what I mean? We grew up in the drug culture. You don't get hurt. You know what I mean?
It's not that you don't really think about anyone else other than yourself.
No,
that's the main truth. There's no other ways around it. So a bit of tough love is probably the best thing to show, but everybody gets it.
Well, it kind of worked, didn't it? In a way.
Yeah.
I'm
just going through the chat. I'm just looking at the chat here. Colton, you can answer that same question if you want, or if it's going to be similar.
No, I can't spit it out again. Say that again, please.
The question was, how did your addiction affect you, your family, your relationship, and everything around you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, me personally, it affected me as a person. It took a lot of time away from my kids because I spent a lot of time in prison because of my addiction.
Yeah.
So, and that's time that I won't get back with my kids, unfortunately. And I feel terribly guilty for that. You know what I mean? I can't get that time back, and neither will they. For the wife, like I said, that survey that she done when I had to get clean and go and sit into NA, and they sent out the survey to the wife. It was a big impact on me. She used to cry herself to sleep. I didn't know none of this, you know what I mean? Because all she wanted was me to be better than what I was. The way it affected her, I mean, yeah, she's trying to bring money into the house as well as me, but I'm as quick as she's bringing it in, I'm spending it on the addiction, so she stops me from going out and committing crimes and stuff like that. In turn, which is taking food out of my kids' mouths. You know what I mean? So again, I felt guilty for that and responsible for that. To this day, I still feel guilty. You know what I mean? I still think about how much we've wasted on drugs and stuff like that. But we can't get none of that back, unfortunately. But regarding my family,
you can't get it back, but you're here now, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna make up for it, aren't you?
Absolutely, exactly, and that's all I can be, and try and set an example and try and change the future for them. Because if I don't break the cycle, then nobody else will, as far as I'm concerned. So now, when me and the wife go out to holiday and stuff, and we find a phone, before I'd have put that in my pocket and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go and sell that later." Now I'm trying to show the kids, no, when the phone rings, we answer it. We say, "Hello, fellow. Yeah, we found this down wherever we found it. Would you like to come and meet us and pick it up?" And we give it back to them. And it's about showing the kids doing the right thing instead of being selfish. And you know what I mean? It's that's all I'm trying to do. Is just, I mean, some of my kids have visited me in jail, so they know what it's about. And God forbid, I'd never want to see them in jail. That's why I'm so strict on them myself. They're not allowed out the front door without me sat on the doorstep.
Yeah.
They don't go out gallivanting in the streets. I know where my kids are, you know what I mean? They can't take your kids out smashing this up or doing drugs or selling this. I know where my kids are. My kids are accounted for. So it's because of that I'm trying to set them the right example. But family-wise, that's my family. I don't really have mum or dad. My dad's dead, unfortunately. I've got a good story about him. I've got plenty of stories about him. My mum, she's not really my cup of tea. She used to beat the fuck out of me. I'd go to school with split lips and lumps off my head, ashtrays thrown at me. I wasn't fed very regularly. She was an addict herself, more weed. Her priority was kids can have beans on toast and I'll go and get a bag of weed. I mean, the weed was everything around me when I was in family, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's affected me quite a lot, and it's bullshit. It still does, but I still feel guilty. But like we're saying, we can't change what's happened. All we can do is try and fix what we can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
At least you're honest. Even being up here and having a talk like this for an hour, like you get off here and you'll feel a bit fresher in yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I do enjoy this. Me and Finn done this a long time ago, and then he just ditched me, and he was like, "Fuck Eddie, Eddie's a scumbag." Oh, I thought he was on mute. Can you hear me? I thought you were on mute, Finn. Sorry.
It's right. No, you're right. You're right. No, because you know what? Because when we used to do drugs and all that, you never used to speak like this. That's why.
Yeah.
You know, your voice is.
Men don't talk.
They don't. They don't talk. They don't talk. Not enough anyway.
But I wanted to say, right, the interesting dynamic about this. I'm sorry. I think it's my volume, but I wanted to say the dynamic is so interesting, Carlton and Eddie, because I didn't grow up in an abusive home. My mother doesn't do drugs. My father never done drugs, and my father's an alcoholic, but he wasn't around after I was about 4 or 5, you know. But so it just goes to show, although I had a huge role to play in the avenue that Carlton went down, but I didn't have that. I didn't have an abusive home. Like, I grew up in a regular old home where, you know, my mum worked every day. We weren't really like on job seekers family. Only 1 or 2 uncles were into drugs. So mine was, now I know this, like, mine was more so fueled by my own view of myself. Yes, I have trauma from my childhood, but they weren't drugs related. They weren't drugs related, you know.
Yeah.
Or inner city poverty type of thing, you know what I mean? Or
saying,
prison.
it just proves how addiction can affect every single walk of life. There's this interesting documentary I watched on YouTube only the other day, and my guy grew up in like rural Buckinghamshire, a little, like, you know, you get little picturesque tins of biscuits with their cottages on, yeah. don't think my man grew up like that. A mum and dad done everything, own their own business. Yeah, he had no business doing drugs at all, and he was a heroin addict. He ended up doing it for like God knows how many years, and I was in shock. It just proves how it doesn't matter how varied your life is. Addiction can affect anybody, and it's so close. I mean, we're doing the right thing by talking about it. Think of all the people that are actually suffering out there in silence.
That's the beauty in it.
He doesn't know where they're actually going and what they're doing and how they can try and do that. And it's frustrating that men don't speak either. You know what I mean?
That's one of the biggest problems. Men don't speak, and we're all of us up here now tonight, and the amount of people Finn does having his channel and spreading awareness, it's getting people, it's getting men to talk. You know what I mean? So
you
might think that you're doing much, but you're doing more than you think.
A kiss goodnight.
That's no problem.
1 second.
That's no problem. That's no problem at all.
How do I do this?
You can just pop it on mute, I think, Carton.
Look at the size of it. Look at the size of them. Yeehaw!
You don't be getting your pussy out on stream.
Right. What was I going to say to you? No, that's an interesting thing. But another thing I wanted to say to you, Ed, was when I was in a hostel in Nepal, I met a guy, right? Now, I didn't know he was a heroin addict, okay? Now, he didn't look it. I'm telling you now, this guy did not look like a heroin addict. He looked like he was a townie. You know, I'm from Coolock. We just call him townies. Like, but anyway, and I swear to God, he came into my room one day and goes, "You don't mind if I do a bit in here?" I was like, "Do a bit of what?" And he just pulled down his trousers and pulled out a needle. I'd never seen it. It was the cleanest, fucking tiniest little. And he goes, I go, "What? You do that?" He goes, "I've been injecting myself with this for 10 years, bro." And I go, "Honestly, you don't look like that." And he goes, "You'd be surprised how many people out there that do it, and you think that they don't look like it." Now, maybe he did, you know, he might, but I just mean, there's probably loads of people out there that do it, and you would never know. They probably have a shirt and collar on, or they walk in. I don't know, you know. But it just struck me that, you know, you have this thing about heroin users, and they're, you know, in their 50s, men on the street with cuts on their face. No, it's not. You know, in America, you can get girls that are fucking 15 strung out on the shit. You know,
it's from the top, from the bottom to the top, Finn. It's the drugs doesn't hide from anybody. You know what I mean? It doesn't pick and choose. People out there wanting on the juice that's worth 4 million, 5 million quid. They have addictions as well. Everyone has their poisons.
Yeah,
exactly. Very much so.
Whether it's
and a lot of people are in denial about it as well.
Yeah. But they're the ones who lose in the end. It goes too far with them. When you're in denial about it, it just prolongs it. That's all it does. Prolongs it.
Exactly.
Before it's too late, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I feel like that 26 is too late, but it's not. It's not. No. You know, it's not. But it feels like I've lived such a long life, and I'm an old boy, and I've done all these drugs. There's still, if I live the right way, there's still a lot of life on that other side. You know?
Yeah. On the other side of the fence with the neighbour, is that what you're talking about, Finn?
My neighbour's trying to get it on with my missus. They're always texting. Do you need that shelf cutting up, do you, darling?
Has he got a beard, Finn?
What's that?
I says, has he got a beard?
No, but he's been to prison. You see, he got arrested a while back. He's like a bad boy.
He's a bad boy.
You know what? You know when we're having an argument, right? When we're having a little bit of a bitch or whatever. The very odd times, we'll go. At least the neighbour knows how to do some work around the house. I'm like, why would we even say that? I can get a grill from somewhere someday. You know what I mean?
You'd want to hope he doesn't grow a fucking beard next door, like, oh, fuck. You can get that PlayStation on the back and go.
Yeah, it's over there. It's still in the bag from the last argument we had.
Keep it there, because we do have mine in the bag at the door already.
It's in there, look.
In the fuck out bag and all. Well done. I have another one for you.
Right, go for it.
If you have a pain in your bollocks with the question, say, Eddie, stop. That's enough now.
That's fine. I'm going to go out and have another smoke, and then when my phone's on 25%, so we have a bit of time.
Yeah. Right. I think it was this one I want to ask. What was some of the things that yeah. So I'll ask both of you. Whoever wants to answer first can answer first. What were some of the hardest things to let go of when you made the decision to get sober?
I'll make you a tea now. Yeah. I'll make you a. Sorry, Eddie. 1 second. There's a tea. Someone wants tea.
I'll go for that then.
You
If
go
that's
for
the
that.
case. For me
Exactly. Go for
personally,
it.
I'd say it was like the lifestyle. I really, really found it really hard to adapt to the civilian life. Growing up on the street myself, I've always been on the street, go to the bookies, stuff like that. Yeah, just being in more with the kids and being a father, that was a new thing for me, and discovering who I am. Because obviously, when you come out of addiction, I spent quite a long time in addiction. When you come out of it, you start to figure out who you really are, what things like you like, rather than the drugs. You know what I mean? So,
but did you have to
sorry,
cut
what's the
anybody
question?
off? Did you have to cut anybody
Yeah,
off?
no. To be fair, no, because when in addiction, I was a selfish person. I just dealt with myself. I used to commit quite a bit of burglaries, and I got addicted to that as well as the drugs because it allegedly. No. These are things that have all been fucking proven, and I've done bird for and everything. So there's no allegedly about it. I've done the burglaries. I've been convicted, and I miss that lifestyle because I become addicted to that lifestyle as well. So I had to cut all of that off. I was addicted to the money as well as the drugs was kind of like a byproduct of the addiction to the crime, because I mean, I could lick off one and I could come out with $5,000. I could lick off 9 and I can come out with 20 grand. I could lick off one and come out with nothing. I could lick off one and come out with £1 million worth of stuff and have to flog it. You know what I mean? I became addicted to the life, so I had to cut that off, and that hurt me because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so yeah, as well as the drugs and friends who've died because of the addiction. You know what I mean? To this day, I can still walk about and see people still in active addiction, and I've known them since school age. And it pains me to see them like that, and they look up to me and like, "Oh, how do you do it?" And I goes, "Listen, the only reason why I do it is because I've got the wife and kids behind me, and I want to do it."
Yeah. Well, that's
the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the funny thing is, the people that we do see walking around now that are still strung out, they will outlive us. Every single one of them will outlive us.
They're going to replace a fucking engine tomorrow, and we'd be like, "What the fuck? How did they do that?" Very true. They blew out the bus.
I've got more.
Guys, everybody in the chat, if you could run over to my channel, My Recovery Life, and hit the subscribe button, and to Finn's, and so I've got your name already. Ed? No, it's not Eddie. What's your name again?
It's Game and Daddy's
Yes,
son.
absolutely, absolutely.
Everybody just hit the subscribe buttons,
everybody
like everybody, run that up. Yes, run that stuff up.
It's the only way we're gonna get the channels going. Everybody subscribe.
How are we gonna know to do this again if you guys don't tell us? Get out there and, you know what I mean, do what you need to do, push that forward, and let this be seen by the masses so we can do this again if it's live.
The more we have, the more that says.
Exactly that.
Exactly.
Right, Finn, don't be out there dodging questions. Get in here.
No, I'm here.
No, in the background.
I'm here.
They're going for a swim.
I'm here.
No, shit. In the background.
Hit me.
Yeah, call me. Are you there, Finn?
I'm here. Hit me.
Hear us. He's fucking hell. Fucking hell. I'm trying to find a good one for you, I am, Finn. Yeah.
The dark here.
How did you? Right, here we go, Finn. Yeah, sorry.
What's happening?
How did you manage the temptations to not relapse during your recovery?
Okay. Prayer. Prayer is a big one.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Prayer came before my medical cannabis journey. Now, I was medicating. See, I have to say, I do use that as a big crutch, a big tool in my recovery. I believe it's powerful. You know, it keeps the demons away from me sometimes, whatever way we want to word it. But I like to medicate, you know. But prayer was a big answer for me. Honestly, prayer, just complete pouring my heart out in prayer. That's honestly.
You still laughing?
Yeah, I'm here.
I couldn't hear you. I'll break them up.
Hold on.
Pretty easy.
Hold the phone there now.
So you'd say your number one thing to help you get through that was prayer.
To my to not relapse. That was the question, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To not relapse. Yeah, I think the two main things that come to my head, the two honest things, was like forget about the key walking. I've done key walking as well once a week for a year, if not more. Like, but I think prayer and my getting the right medicine that suits me and my goal, and you know what I mean, and my, you know what I mean. So that's the honest answer to that.
Well, there's my one there, Finn.
Lovely.
She doesn't go far.
No. Well, there you go.
Keep her beside me.
Yeah. But
and the same goes for you, Carden. What stopped you from? What was the one thing that stopped you from actually relapsing? The thought of.
You know what? I put out a video about this the other day. There's a difference between a lapse and a relapse. I don't know if you guys would agree. What stops me from wanting to lapse or relapse is just knowing where it's going to lead to. I didn't do it because I didn't enjoy it. I done it because I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I enjoyed the buzz of being under the effect of heroin and smoking crack. It's not like it's not a nice thing. I'm not going to kid myself. I enjoyed doing it. That's why I continued doing it.
That's true. That's true.
So I've got to kind of just keep myself in check and know where it's going to lead me if I do end up going back to that sort of temptation. But when I walked out of custody and I was clean, I always said to myself, "What I'm going to have to set myself a few things to kind of stop me from scoring, leading up to scoring. That was the process of it. If I've got money, I don't need to commit crime to get drugs. So it's the case that's pushed to the side. So I could.
So would you take different routes the way you know these lads are selling drugs, or?
There you go, exactly that. So, but with myself, if I wanted, it was easily accessible. I could easily set up a line and go in.
Only short to put a fucking vending machine on the corner or cracking it, like, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's easy enough to get it. So, the thing that I kind of set myself to do, not to go out and score, is set myself a process. Obviously, I'd ring my keys to remind me of the jail cell.
Yeah.
As soon as I open my picture, as soon as I open my wallet to go and get money out of my wallet, I'm a bit skint at the moment. It's a couple of £100, but I've always got a picture of my family.
Yeah.
To remind me of what I'm losing if I, you know what I mean, when I take the money out of my wallet.
Absolutely.
On the other side of that, I've got all of my. Hang on, sorry. Yeah, look, prison ID cards.
Yeah. So you have all that to remind you that you're not going back to that.
You know, I mean, I kid you not, I've got 4 or 5 different prison ID cards. You know what I mean? So I keep these little things to remind me what would happen if I did end up, because I don't do it because I don't want to do it. I do it because I enjoy it.
Yeah. No, we
understand.
You know what I mean? So those sort of having them sort of things in place will stop that process of me going to make that phone call, going into my wallet, taking money out because I see my family, I see the ID cards that have come from the old prisons, and I think, is it really worth it? Because the only thing I've ever got out of my addiction is pain and a prison ID number. That is it.
Yeah.
Nothing more, and apart from a whole heap of trauma and PTSD.
Yeah. And where is that going to get you? You know what I mean?
Exactly that. So that's what stops me from going back to that sort of.
So hopefully your little collection of prison cards, hopefully that doesn't get any bigger. I would say a prayer for you, brother.
Definitely not guaranteed that. Definitely. I mean, last time I was inside was about 10 years ago. 11 years ago.
That's good. I'll say a prayer for you as well, Colton, yeah?
And I'll kid you not, that was the first time in maybe about 15, 16 years that I'd actually finished a license. I'd never, ever finished a license. I'd always ended up getting recalled, or I'd end up committing crime before the end of it.
Yeah.
And it's the first time in, I've never, the first time I've finished a license, and it's the only time that I don't intend to be gathering no more licenses.
Well, that's good. That's good. I'm happy for you.
You know
I don't even know you, but I'm very happy for you.
Of course.
God bless you. God bless you, fella. I really appreciate that. I really do.
And I will say a prayer for you. I will. Anyone in the stream.
And I kid you not, I'm not saying nothing. This is the first time, obviously, I've seen Finn. Finn has never seen me, you know what I mean, apart from a couple of videos I've put out. I've never spoken to Finn, and it's lovely, it really is. And I just want to say thank you to Finn. Finn, if it wasn't for you, fella, I wouldn't have done none of this. I kid you not. You made me want to, you know what, fuck it, I'll just go for it. Fuck it. If it's not successful, at least you've tried it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I said it to you the other day, Finn, if I ever make it big on here, mate, and I end up with a few quid, listen, there's more than a few drinks there for you, fella. So hand on heart, I just want to say thank you for everything, for just being there and listening and letting me vent and coming to your channel, fella. So yeah, thank you for being there, honestly.
No, thanks very much, and thank you much for being this. To be honest, I've never met such a nicer man in all my fucking life. Yeah, you know, you seem like such a nice guy, even though, because I know most people are so proud of being in prison. I'm tough, I'm hard, I'll beat you up, I'm mean. You really don't come across on like that, and it makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel comfortable. So, you know, thank you for being like
people
that.
People who show about going to prison and think it's the best thing ever, they're going back.
Yeah.
They're going fucking back.
It's a waste. It hurts me, because you know what? There's so much talent inside. There really is. I've seen people build chess sets out of matchsticks.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Eiffel Towers and all these. There's people in there. There's so much talent wasted out there, and it hurts me.
Ego kills ego. You know.
Don't get it twisted. There's people who deserve to be in jail. You know what I mean? But
of course,
the people who are actually just caught in that cycle of addiction, prison, out because they've got, and there's a flaw because they're getting released to nowhere. So it's just they're setting them up to fail. Probation are useless. They're just really quick to recall people, unfortunately. You know what I mean? There's no help for people out there.
But that's what you say when you're leaving prison. We'll see you back here.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why you say that, because you know you're pushed out the front door with nothing, not a penny, nothing. With the clothes on your back you went in with, and nowhere to go. You know what I mean? That's what he tell you. We'll see you back here.
Exactly. And I was too comfortable. Jail wasn't a deterrent for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was too comfortable there. Bullingdon's my local. That's where I'd always end up. So it was like seeing people from who I see in children's homes and foster care and people on the streets. It was normal for me. It wasn't nothing major, and I could have been stuck in that system and been in and out. And I'm so thankful for my family, the wife, just being clean and having you guys to be able to talk and get things off my chest. And it's only by that. I mean, it's part of what they say about NA. It's about passing on what you've learned.
Yes.
I think it's like step 11 or step 12. It's about passing on the knowledge about what you've learned in your thing. And like Finn said, I've got so many books up there that I can relate to, and I thought I was all on my own. There's nothing worse than feeling lonely in a room full of people.
Yeah.
No, you're never on your own. There's people out there. You just have to find the right people. You know what I mean? But the way this is branching out, all of this, the recovery thing and all, like it is blown up a lot quicker than I even thought. You know what I mean? And I even say to Finn, I said, like, I'm proud of you. I'm actually proud of you. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how many people tell him and his family that they're proud of him or anything else, but they hear that from a stranger.
Yeah.
It's
beautiful.
a nice. It's a nice
beautiful.
thing.
It is. Cali Dab wants to jump in. Cali Dab, let me try and post a link. You know, but I will get an opportunity to thank you, Carlton and Eddie. You know, over the coming weeks and months. Because I'm just a normal guy like you. You know. Let me just quickly. Cali Dab wants to jump in. Who's and I don't
I'm
mind him
surprised
having
Fable
a
didn't jump in.
But no, well, you know, there's so much happening here, guys, in the chat. But Eddie,
How many
you can.
people are in the chat? I can't even see the chat. All I see is what's at the bottom.
Oh, you can see the chat now because I'm at the setting the fucking laptop up.
Yeah, no,
right, that's what I
it's
need to
very
go
hard.
and do. I need to go and get
I have to press every single message. You have to pay money to be able to see the chat, for everyone to be able to see the chat and all that crap.
Oh, well, I've done that. Ah, shit.
Lena has a great question. So, Lena, fire it out and I'll read it out.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Yeah, if there's any questions in the chat, fire them out.
Yeah. I posted the link, Cali Dab, man, if you want to jump
How you
in.
doing?
Mhm.
Guys,
Well,
thank you for
this
tuning in.
This is the first time we're at the kind of doing a stream like this. So
Yeah.
How many people are there?
There's 13 minutes. I think there was 20 at one stage.
Listen.
But you know what, right? Sorry, Eddie, for cutting in, right?
You're only...
Because I know I spoke to you. I know Carlton was eager just to fucking start, you know. And you know, I have to say, you know, I've thought about doing. I've had money and I bought a couple of things myself and smoked it up and all that. But you've actually put into practice what I thought would be great for YouTube. Like one of my dreams was a safe. I call it Finnegan's confession box, where we could do our own NA or our own style of AA or counselling meetings. And you've done it. Like you've literally. So I can learn from you now. You can tell me where I can buy the books cheap, or you know what I mean. It's just it's good. And Eddie here is studying in college psychology, you know, so those boys together.
I kid you not, these are only books that I've done while I've done this whilst in NA, in jail.
Yeah.
Just for today, them 3 other books, Hope, Faith and Something, NA and Cracked Awareness. Those are all books that I gathered from jail that had been sat up in the loft, and I thought, you know what can I use as my content? What can I do that's different that I've not seen anybody else do?
You are your content.
Yes, you are your content. Like Carlton,
that's why I said this. That's why I got this one, so I can kind of like try and stick in somebody's mind. Like, you know what I mean? It's the only reason.
To play a character. You just need to come up here and be
I'm
yourself.
not a character. I'm me, blood. That's it.
And the same with Finn. Finn jumped in, and Finn only had one person in his chat for a while, 2 people, 3 people, and then more people start coming in for who you are, not for
100%.
anything else. So just be yourself.
100%.
And enjoy
exactly
it.
That.
The day you stop enjoying it, don't do it. It's not worth it if you're not enjoying it. So just enjoy it. That's what I can say to you.
Exactly, and because, and you know, this sounds cheesy, but this is the type of language that comes out of my head. Is, you know, I'm kind of humbled by it because, you know, it is interesting to me. Like, I want to make it cool for these you guys to talk like us and read through the NA. Like, you know, we have to. I've been saying it. I just want to make it a bit more cool to talk about the real shit that matters. And like, what way did you treat your ma last? Way did you dress your son? Did your kid have a good lunch going to school? Whatever. Do you know what I mean?
100%, Finn. 100%.
So I'm just kind of humbled right now. I'm enjoying it, you know, and because, you know, this is all new to me. It might seem like I have it all sus, but I don't. Jude just gave me a few tips on, you know, sign up to StreamYard, blah, blah, blah. I'm a newbie, you know. I'm a newbie.
We're all newbies to this.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
That's why you have more questions. Finn, I have more questions.
Go for it. No, I've enjoyed it.
Did someone in the chat want to ask a question or?
Oh shit! Sorry, Lena wants to jump on tomorrow night, and she'll ask. So I'll do it. I'll do. She had a question for tomorrow. How are you, Fred?
No problem.
Yeah,
I'm gonna find. I've about 5 or 6 questions left here. I'm gonna find the best one out of a lot, and we'll finish off on that one if you want, lads.
Yeah.
Just give us 2 seconds.
Have a lovely cup of tea here, Carlton. Look fresh and hot with me joint. Lovely.
You know what, Don't? I'm jealous because the wife and Litland's downstairs because it's so hot up here in this house. They've got one of the mattresses downstairs. So if I go downstairs and start boiling kettles, it's waking the house up. So I'm jealous. I am.
Fucking hell, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a gentleman right there.
Kids come first, fella. Come on.
Yeah.
The wife will have my balls for earrings.
Well, no, I will tell you though, it's so funny because like we have the same. We're like our bedroom is where the pipes are under the floorboard, and I'm telling you now, it's so
exactly
hot.
That.
It's
so
a
hot. Sauna. It really is.
Right, I'm at the picking. Finn, I'm at the going through them. I had about another 14, 15 questions I wanted to ask, but we're nearly 2 hours in already, so I'm just at the picking 2. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm here. I'm just trying to keep up with the chat. I am here, brother.
No problem.
Excuse me.
So the first question and the second last question is: if you could go back in time and give your younger self some. Oh no, hang on, let me read that again. If you could go back in time, what advice would you give to your past self during the darkest days of your addiction? Don't jump in now. Have a little think about it.
I know, but I'll straight at the top of my head. Me personally, do it now. Don't hesitate.
Do it now.
Do it now. Give up now. Because I spent too long in addiction, thinking that my problems were my problems and that nobody can relate to me. And once I actually sat down in an NA room, I found out that a lot of people could relate to me and I could relate to quite a few people. So for me, I would have said, don't hesitate, get it done now, because you only get one life. We don't know what happens after this. So we don't know where we go. We don't know if we actually come back as a different soul or a different entity. But don't hesitate, do it now, I'd have said to myself.
Good answer. Very good answer.
What's happening, lads?
All right. What's up, Callie?
How you doing, Callie? Callie, man.
I don't think I've met Callie before either. Or did I?
I think he's on my profile about 2 months, 8 weeks, maybe more. Is it? Callie Dab, maybe a bit longer. I'm not sure.
I've been on holiday for 16 days. I've been following you a couple of months before my holiday.
Lovely. Well, how are you?
Well, that's for pretty.
I met Callie. Nice to meet you. I don't think I met you before, but
nice to meet you as well.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. For ladies, lads, talking about addictions and stuff. I was addicted to yellows all my life, taking 14 yellows every day, and now I'm down to 2 yellows a day. I'm still struggling on, but I'm doing well, so I am really well. So fair play to you all, fair play to you, lads.
Fair play to you as
well.
Good
on you, fella.
From 14 to 2.
There you go.
Like 14
Are you doing
a day,
that
mate.
between that exercise or activities, something to keep your mind active?
Nah, man, just smoke Cali, mate. Fuck's
sake. Love it.
Let's see, it's not some fact. I'll see you some.
Yeah. And you're not spending £700 a day on weed now. I hope we put that down to about 3.
A week. I've got down to 400.
400.
We'll just spend another 500 a day in the night, like.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
you know what?
Question on you, yeah?
Right. Okay. Let me just quickly. Right. What I wanted to say was to my younger self was this year's problems is not going to be next year's problems. You know what I mean? Because I've realised that no matter what stage of life you're in, you're not always going to have what you want. So, you know what I mean? You know, I wish I knew that. I grew up and I thought, well, by the time you're 25, you're supposed to have the house, the mortgage, the dog, the kids, you know. And so, but that's what I'd like to tell myself, that the problems you have now, next year you're not going to have them, or let's say 5 years or 10 years, whatever. But I wish I knew that then. Whether it be bereavement, whether it be relationship breakdown, whether it be losing friends, whatever it was, you know.
Yeah, great answer. Good answer, Finn.
Yeah.
Good answer, buddy.
Lovely.
That's my session done.
A nice one, Eddie, yeah.
There you go, lads. That's why I'm fucking skint.
I didn't want to pop in with nothing. I wanted to pop in with just a few questions, just in case we dry it up a little bit. You know what I mean? So
yeah. No, but it's working. As you said, it's working, Eddie. It's working, because even Callie came in a few weeks ago and he said, "Look, I'm taking these yellows. I don't even know why I'm taking them, right?" And it's the same with some people are coming in and they're saying, "I'm taking my foy. I've just stopped taking my foy today." People are actually coming in and speaking about it. I don't think nothing. I'm a bit jealous, if I'm honest, Callie. I'm a bit jealous. Other than that, there's nothing like. You just, for you have to, the people around you will love you more the cleaner you get. That's what I would tell you. The cleaner you get, the people around you will love you more.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And the lads that do be in here, Jono Crypto, Jordo, all the boys, just because I don't comment on your pages, I do be leaving likes on you. I do be watching what you're doing. I watched Jordo's one today talking about a bit of flying, whatever.
Yeah.
The lads might think I watch them. I don't comment on much things, but just know that I'm at the subscribing to all yous. I'm watching everything that you're putting up. And I'm in this journey, which is I'm following you. You know what I mean? I'm here to help you also.
Yeah, it's good. It's good making friends, bro. Making friends. That's what I call it. I'm not gonna say someone I know online. I'm making friends. You know, like I know.
Yes.
I have friends that I don't talk to, and I call them friends. Like I don't talk to them ever, but I talk to you every day. You do. Most people on here will know more about me than what my so-called friends. You know, the boys or whatever. Like, you know.
I don't have friends. I ain't gonna lie.
I called some young little friend for I'd say a good 6 weeks. I sent him my number and then he never got back on to me. So
everybody's moved on with their life. Where I've been stuck in addiction all that time, everybody has done their own little thing from school and whatever. I ain't got no friends. I ain't got nobody ringing up saying, "Yo, Cole, do you want to go and watch the football? Do you want to go?"
No.
Listen, my friend's my wife.
Yeah,
the kids.
Yeah.
You guys, like you said, Finn, you guys probably know more about me than the majority of the world does. I ain't got friends. I don't need friends. Friends cause dramas.
I was just going to say, friends get you in trouble. You know what I mean? Some friends can get you in trouble.
Listen, I barely trust myself. How am I going to trust anybody else?
Are you going, Eddie?
That's the size of my friend circle right there, yeah. And the only thing that fits in that is my 2 kids and my fiance.
Yeah, that's it.
Nothing else.
No, you're right. Hold on,
I can call you friends on here, but at the end of the day, you don't actually live here with me. There's nothing stopping me from engaging with you, but
100%.
You aren't friends. It's just my closest friends, my little circle, my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Callie Dab is showing us something. So I'm listening to Eddie.
Me, but now it's time for the boys on here. Everybody up on here to start saving other people and get their own men to talk about what their problems are.
Yeah.
100%.
You're right, Eddie. Oh, I'm looking at Callie Dab now. It's just showing us a bit of. Oh.
Hey, Callie. Yeah, I'll send you my address. Yeah.
Look at these Callie packs.
Yeah, fuck that.
You're showing off now. You know what I mean? There's no need for that.
Look at this one.
I love the way this guy's
just showing off. Look, he's got look, he's got all the statics, he's got all the hash. My man's got everything.
Bro.
Rotted. Callie, man, listen.
They're them jars. They're 200 quid. They're 200 quid a jar in Ireland. Them jars of PDF.
Listen, for 2 grams. 2 grams for £200. It's disgusting.
I know, man. I can't do it, bro. It's horrible.
Ridiculous. It's bonkers.
I'm just gonna say one thing before I go, lad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate you even answering the questions. You didn't have to. I appreciate you for pulling me up for it as always.
Thank you very much, Eddie.
No problem. And send me love.
It's been a pleasure.
Kids, all these are families, the whole lot. You have
I will.
me, you know where my channel is. Drop me a comment.
Ditto.
Yeah. Have a good night, the missus. Tell Nicole when you go up. I'm sorry, babe. Finn's just too beautiful. I was mesmerized.
Well, indeed. Thanks very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
See you soon.
Appreciate it.
All, yeah?
And you. We'll do it again soon.
Absolutely. Yes,
definitely. You asked them,
what is that? You heading off now, Finn?
You asked them in the chat if they enjoyed this kind of stream, like, you know what I mean? Because
I will
happen again. It's up to them.
Yeah,
it's up to you.
I will.
Finn, can I just say something?
Yes.
One criticism: before you ever, when you do your lives, yeah, you say like, right, that's it, people, I'm off, gone, bam, and it cuts everybody off, so nobody can say goodbye. But if we say like, guys, listen, we're gonna leave in 5 minutes, we want to know what you guys think.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
This is the time you can ask us our questions, because the people in the chat, they didn't get to say goodbye to each other.
Yeah.
And because this is my first live, we was like, oh, right, it's shit, damn, we didn't get to say goodbye to Evie, Fable, blah. So if we say, right, 5 minutes, we're out of here, say our goodbyes now, we're out, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, absolutely. That's another thing that
sense.
you do in AA. You say a prayer, kind of. It's like in AA, you say a prayer, or someone says,
that's it.
You know, it's good. Yeah, absolutely, Carlton. You know, I'll take any advice. You know, as men, sometimes we take any advice. You know, any advice we think, well, but you know, no, I will take advice on board, brother. You know what I mean? Because as I say, it is very easy to press. I'm in control. I can press end, and you're right. People might not want to take advice. So yes, absolutely.
God bless you, Finn.
Eddie, good night and God bless. Thanks very much,
Eddie.
Love it.
Absolute pleasure. We'll do it again soon, fella.
Yeah. See you later.
Take it easy, boys. Enjoy your night.
Good night and God bless.
God bless you.
Good night.
Easy breezy, fella.
Good night. See you later.
I need to zoom in. Finn.